Advanced Communication Silver can start with the speech titled, What is Toastmasters? What is Toastmasters? Can start.
I kind of feel like I might be preaching to the choir here, talking about what is Toastmasters. But it's always kind of been a baffle to me whenever I tell somebody that I'm a Toastmaster, and they ask, what is Toastmasters? Well, I thought everybody knew what Toastmasters was. I must have lived a sheltered life. But I might explain them saying, have you ever run across somebody who really is an excellent talker and says all the right things, uses good words and good vocabulary, and stupendous with their delivery? Well, you have to maybe wonder, were they born that way? How'd they get to have that talent? Maybe they had professional tutoring. Or maybe they just joined Toastmasters. Toastmasters has literally trained hundreds of thousands of people to get over their nervousness, speak in front of a group, and become professional. Now, it doesn't make any difference if you're talking to 1 or 2 or 5 or 200 people. There's certain things that you want to do. You want to have your message clear and concise so that as you deliver it, they know exactly what you're talking about. You want to be able to talk intelligently, speak loud enough so that everybody can hear. You don't want to go on babbling and babbling and babbling and saying the same things over and over again. Now, it doesn't make any difference if you're talking to maybe your boss or a client, or maybe you're conducting a sales meeting. Or you could be talking to a judge and a jury in court. Or maybe a traffic cop out on the highway. You could be talking to a parent. You could be talking to a child. Maybe you've been asked to say a couple of words at a wedding, or say a couple of words at a funeral, or say grace maybe before a meal. There's certain things that you want to get across. You want to have it crystal clear in your mind, the message that you want to try and get across to people. You want to seem like you're over your nervousness. You don't want to display any jittery or ums and ahs. You want to deliver your message clearly so that everybody in the group, all your audience, can hear you and understand you. And so you ask, well, Toastmasters can do that. How do they do it? Well, it starts with a how-to manual. You get a manual, and it takes you through the basics, learning step by step how to be a more efficient communicator. Now, you could no more learn how to swim by just reading a book or learn how to ride a bicycle. You have to practice. You have to do it. And that's what happens in Toastmasters. You start out with an icebreaker, which is basically just talking about yourself, which should be a familiar subject. And you progress a little bit at a time. You advance through different techniques, different things that help you grow. And probably the most important thing in my mind about Toastmasters is that you get an evaluation. Somebody in the group, a fellow Toastmaster, is assigned to be an evaluator for your speech. Now, you get an oral evaluation and a written evaluation. They tell you what you did that's good. What are your strong points? They encourage you. Give us more. You really did a good job. Also, they might give you something to help you grow on and improve the speech. And you know, there's no place in life where you get this kind of feedback. You give a talk and a presentation, you don't know how it's perceived. You don't know if your message was understood the way you wanted it to be. But in Toastmasters, you do get instant feedback. Not only that, but you have a written evaluation that you can go back and look at. as you progress through the speeches, you want to try new things and take the assignments, whatever they are, and try and accomplish those. But you can look back and make sure that you're paying attention to those advices that you were given earlier. You never want to underestimate the power of association. Associating with like-minded, upward mobile people that are all trying to get ahead and grow. It's like having a personal trainer. No, it's like having a dozen personal trainers. We all grow together. The one that's helping you, that's already been through some of the speeches, they learn by explaining to you what you did and how you could improve. You learn by listening to that advice. So we all grow together. Now, I joined Toastmasters back in 1982. I was elected or nominated to be president-elect of an association. And I was terrified thinking about getting up in front of a group of 600 or 700 members and making a fool of myself. So I joined Toastmasters. Well, I must have done something right because they re-elected me for another year. So I served a 2-year term. And I've had a very successful professional life. And I owe it all to Toastmasters. And you need to go out and you need to share your story. You need to shout it from the rooftops. What is Toastmasters?